And how'd you come up with that title, Joe
Oh,
Blow?
it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was before my time. My boss, I think it was the early days of online film critics.
Got it.
And yeah, and he was kind of, he didn't like the fact that, you know, everybody was kind of he thought that the film critics that were there were kind of like pretentious. So he
Got it.
wanted to say that it's just any Joe Blow's opinion, you know, and that was how it ended up becoming Joe Blow.
That was my guess, and I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that that's the fact.
It's amazing to talk to you, by the way. You're a legend, man. Well, you know.
Oh, thank you.
I love your comic. I love the Superman, the death of Superman with the Saints back there. That's amazing.
Right? Kind of awesome. When I first moved to LA, I saw that. I was like, yeah, I need that in my house.
I want it too. Oh, man. All right. Well, on to safety. I watched the movie the other day. I thought it was great.
Thank you.
First thing I got to ask you, how did you find Ray-Ray's story? Because it was a very moving story, a very nice, positive, uplifting story. Perfect for our time.
Thank you. You know, my producer had gotten the rights when it happened 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And had set it up. You know, movie kept kind of not happening. And then when Disney Plus opened up, he said, "Oh, this is a perfect movie for them." They agreed. They did a rewrite on it, and then they said, "Well, let's find a director." I was on a list. They called me. I read it. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Let's go to work."
How'd you find Jay Reeves? He seems like a real find.
A real find. I think we're gonna see a lot of that young man. What was great about Disney is that they weren't being star driven. They said, look, the movie's the star. Let's just get really good actors, which was great because there was some really big shoes to fill. You know, you had to be as charismatic as the real Ray. And at the same time, after your audition, we take you out to the field. Let's see you throw. Let's see you catch. Let's see you run. Can you take a hit? I mean, you know, you had to have the physical skills as well as the acting chops. And he had it all.
He told me that he showed up to the audition with a football. Good. And I thought he had really nice chemistry with Thaddeus. I thought he was great as his brother. I thought the two of them were wonderful together. And I really like Corinne Fox. She seems like, I didn't realize she was Jamie Foxx's daughter until after seeing it. I was like, she's like a really like legit actress.
Oh yeah, no, it's amazing. And you know, I've done 3 movies with Jamie, and you know, I knew her as a teenager hanging out on set. So it's really great to you know, when they say, "Oh, Corinne's coming in," I'm like, "Oh, that's a great idea." And I was like, how could she not be great? And sure enough, she was great.
It's one of the things that I guess I kind of liked about the movie was that it's just a nice upbeat story. You know, it was, and I think that we're all, you know, a little bit burnt out these days, especially with COVID and being isolated at home. And it is nice to turn something on, and it's like, oh, not everybody's horrible in the world. There were actually some people that were pretty nice.
Well, you know, it's funny you should say that, because I felt that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make the movie. I said, you know, I think the world needs this movie.
Yeah.
And not knowing how much the world would need this movie. And I actually think you're exactly right. I love that we're coming out at Christmas time. I just feel like, man, people are gonna, you know, open their presents, turn this movie on, and be like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good family movie, a good movie to watch. Everybody, I could see everybody being interested. One thing I also wanted to talk about is that it's very prescient in that it's a streaming movie, considering what's happened in movie theaters now. And then yesterday's massive announcement by Warner Brothers that all like the DC stuff was going online. What do you make of this? What do you make of the way that everything is kind of shifted? As somebody who's directed a ton of movies for theaters, a ton of classics.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, look, I mean, it's interesting. You know, part of my last conversation with Chadwick, we were talking this summer, and he was like, you know, I'm so happy that my next 2 movies are coming out on Netflix, because I'm going to be where people are.
Yeah.
You know, he was really happy that, you know, Five Bloods and Ma Rainey were going to be there. And that really resonated with me for all kinds of reasons.
Sure.
And, you know, I'm in the same case. I'm like, boy, I've got a movie exactly where people are going to be viewing. And a movie like this used to be a big theatrical movie, right?
Oh yeah, like I Remember the Titans. It would have been a big hit, probably. I would imagine.
Right. But the marketplace is so shifted that,
Yeah.
Unless you're making a superhero movie or a horror film or a musical, it's a really tough theatrical marketplace. So I'm happy that a place like Disney allows you to make a movie like this, which otherwise, wouldn't have gotten made. I mean, this thing was just as good 14 years ago, but now folks are like, yeah, let's do this. So I think that's fantastic.
Speaking of Chadwick Boseman, I have to say I did see Ma Rainey's Black Bottom the other day, his last movie. Have you seen it yet? Because he was incredible in it.
Spectacular.
Yeah,
spectacular. I think it's our chance to doff our hat to him one last time in terms of award season. Because wow.
As a guy though, I never realized until DC Fandom how much you're into superheroes, right? Like, and I could see it now in your house.
What's that?
Yeah.
See that?
Oh, nice. Well, I think you're at the right place then. Disney Plus, like you should be. Yeah. But you have talked about doing a Static Shock movie, and I was just wondering, is there any progress on that? Because I know everybody wants to see it. It seems like it's when that was the most popular story out of fandom that day on JOBLO, more than the Snyder Cut. Like people were talking, oh, Static Shock, a movie, really?
Yeah, it's very much a priority for me, and we're going to be relaunching not just Static Shock, but many of the classic characters from Milestone Media.
Yeah,
we're going to be relaunching next year and creating new characters, and we're kind of looking through all of them and going, okay, this is what's right for movies, this is what's right for television. We're going to be working in a lot of different platforms for them, but a Static Shock movie is very much a high priority for me.
As a guy though who does everything, because you're doing Black Friday as well, a show which I really like, by the way. I think it's hilarious. As a guy who does everything though, who's done streaming, TV, and movies all in the last couple of years, is there for you a big difference anymore though, or does it all feel more like? Because I feel like as a culture we're almost kind of moving towards like one thing in some ways.
We're moving toward the entertainment singularity.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, it does feel that way. There's good things and bad things about it, I think. But what's your thoughts on that? What do you feel?
Well, look, I think what's great is that television is the best it's ever been.
Oh right? Yeah, no doubt.
Oh my God, there's so many great TV shows, and at the same time, Marvel movies, I love them. I mean, it's just like, let's keep going. Let's get this COVID thing over with so we can get back out there.
Black Widow, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So, look, I think it's a very exciting moment, and the business is in flux, the culture's in flux, and to quote the great Melvin Van Peebles, trouble can be opportunity in work clothes. So let's just see what comes out of all this incredible change.
One thing I want to ask you to my last thing is that everybody, now that they're kind of stuck in quarantine, is watching a lot of content. And I was just wondering, what have you been watching lately? What's resonated with you? What's like a great thing that's helped you kind of pass the time?
Wow.
Jay told me it was Mandalorian. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, Mandalorian is spectacular.
Yeah.
That's
especially this season.
Me and my son, we're locked in on that.
Oh,
I finally caught up with the first two seasons of Handmaid's Tale, which is incredible.
Yeah.
The Boys is also
Boys.
amazing. Season 2 of that was incredible. What else? And of course, all the election coverage, we were pretty obsessive about.
Well, I'm in Canada, so I'm a little bit removed, but yeah.
Yeah. So you guys were like, oh, you crazy Americans.
My wife is American, so yeah. So she was...
exactly. So I mean, I mean, there's been a lot of great things to watch, and I mean, fortunately, I've been very busy, so I didn't watch as much as I want to. You know, because sometimes you just. I remember I started watching Juliet of the Spirits. You know.
Oh yeah, of course. The
like,
Criterion
oh
Channel.
my God, this is why I went into movies. Look at this guy; he's a master. You know, so you know, there's a lot of great stuff to watch. I turned the day I bought HBO Max. I was like, God, there's so many movies. What am I going to watch? Casino Royale. Don't know why. I mean, but I don't know the '66 version, like, because I think that score by Burt Bacharach is one of the greatest movie scores of all time.
As you can see, I'm a big James.
I feel you. So you know, so again, I'm a really voracious appetite. So I'm watching all kinds of stuff.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you talking to me, and I really enjoyed the movie. And good luck with it. I think Jay's going to become a big star. So
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much.
All the naysayers stayed praying that I wouldn't make it.
I had to bring my little brother to live with me on campus.
Had to look inside, find the motivation. May we build bridges and break limits.
Mom's gone. It's just you and me.
Trying to make a better way when the day's finished.
You don't have to do this on your own.
For the future, we winning if they winning. This is our story. I just want to leave a page in it.
Why are you helping me?
Everyone's family here.
This is where you rise. This is where you shine.
My brother and I had it kind of tough growing up.
History in the making.
Clemson has given me the opportunity to change my life.
Come on!
My coaches, my teammates. These men are my brothers too.
History in the making. You've been waiting for this your whole life.